It's tough for conservatives. I think we're getting better at it, but it's been tough because we're not as accustomed to strategic activism as the left is. They're simply more experienced. Long ago, they were writing books called Rules for Radicals. They're giving their supporters a playbook that they need to engage in cultural guerrilla warfare. They've devised plans long ago to march through the institutions while conservatives were relying on the good ideas to win the day. Meanwhile, the left has been building narratives, and very powerful narratives at that. The narrative is pretty simple, and it's pretty compelling to the young and the vulnerable. And it goes something like this. America was built on lies and racism. Your bad behavior is not your fault, but the product of society. Your failures are due to an injustice imposed upon you by the more fortunate. There is crisis and injustice at every turn, and the unequal economy and the dying climate or the unending pandemic. And that crisis not only justifies, but demands extreme and radical change. And that change can only be efficiently implemented under the direction of a more powerful government with more resources and more authority, and of course, more of your tax dollars. And thus it becomes so that one's morality is directly correlated to the amount of tax dollars that one is willing to spend. And if one government mandate is good, well, then 10 more must be better because, compassion and stuff. Because, as the left says, if you truly cared, then you would want to take more action. And see, some kind of moral good is then associated with action, no matter if said action actually has a beneficial outcome. See, it doesn't matter that the war on poverty or the Great Society welfare programs did not actually address poverty effectively, because that was never actually the point. Virtue signaling was. Action for the sake of action, and therefore for votes is the point. The unfortunate reality is that human beings are very susceptible to bribery. They're susceptible to the politician that tells them that they're owed something from someone else and that they'll receive something if they just vote for that politician. And even the most rugged and personally responsible Americans fall for this trap.